All right, so let's start. So letter writing at times is difficult for some students because they are not able to understand the difference between formal, informal, and semi-formal writing. And sometimes they do not give it much importance, thinking that it's writing task 2 that is more important. So let's discuss a few things and then understand how you can get a high band score in letter writing. So IELTS academic students get a visual input. For them, it's different. But the general training students get letter writing in writing task 1. And you are advised to take 20 minutes. So you should take about 20 minutes to write this. So how do we plan this letter writing? And you write at least 150 words. Because your task 2 is essay writing, and in your essay writing, you write at least 250 words, for which you are advised to take about 40 minutes. So what is it that we should include in letter writing? That we have at least 150 words, and we do not exceed this 20 minutes. Many students tell me that they take around 28 minutes to write a letter. Now, if you take around 28 minutes to write a letter, that's not good, because you'll find it very difficult to write writing task 2. In that, you get essay writing, and that's double the worth of task 1, because if 33% is for task 1, 66% is for task 2. So we should not take more than 20 minutes for task 1. So what should we do? How do we write it? How do we plan our letter? This is what we should understand. Now, there are 3 types of letters that you can expect. You can get a formal letter, informal, or semi-formal. So what's the difference between the 3? Formal letter is written to somebody whom you do not know. So whenever the question is such that you do not even know whether you are going to write to a male or a female, you do not know the gender of the person. Somewhere it's mentioned that you are applying for a job, or maybe you are complaining to someone, you're writing to some authorities. Let's look at the airline authorities. So you do not know who is going to read your letter. You're just familiar with the post, the title, that's it. That becomes a formal letter for you. And in IELTS formal letters, how do we address? You just write dear sir or madam. And obviously, since it's formal, so you end it also that way, putting it yours sincere, yours faithfully at the end. Yours sincerely is also accepted, but what is preferred? Yours faithfully, because we have put dear sir or madam at the top. Semi-formal is written to someone whom we know, but we do not know personally, like our colleagues, a boss. We know the person, we know the name of the person, but the person is not a friend or a relative. So that's why it becomes semi-formal. Informal is a letter written to friends, relatives, or close ones. So the way we, like informal letter, if you are my friend, I'm writing to a friend, my friend's name is, let's say, Rina. So I can just put, hi, Rina. Semi-formal, maybe Rina is my boss. So I can just address as dear Rina. So that kind of difference will be there. But when I write to her, but I do not know, when I write, maybe I come to know that I have to write a letter to the manager somewhere of any organization, I do not even know who the person is going to be. So how will I address dear sir or madam? So some difference is there. Today's class is going to be on formal letter writing. But whichever letter it is, whether it's semi-formal, formal, or informal, we do not write the letter in just one paragraph. Salutation, what is salutation? What I just shared with you. It can be hi Rina, dear Rina, or dear sir or madam. That is salutation. First paragraph should always have your reasons for writing the letter. Why are you writing to somebody? So first paragraph should have your reasons for writing the letter. Last paragraph is the closing statement. That I look forward to your response, or I'm eagerly waiting to meet you, or meet you soon, see you soon. This kind of thing comes at the end. depending upon the type of letter that you write. And then is the signing off. So yours faithfully, obviously if it's formal letter, you write your full name, then yours sincerely, your kind regards in semi-formal, then yours affectionately or yours lovingly. And that way you can write for informal letter. But in between paragraph 2, 3, and 4, these are the paragraphs which will get us the band score, a higher band score. You take care of these paragraphs and your band score will definitely move up. So how do we do that? Salutation, let's look at the formal letter. Today we are going to discuss formal letter writing. So salutation is dear sir or madam. Then I am. Now I am does not mean that you give your name. If I have to write to somebody, I won't say I am Sunita Kadian. That's not my introduction. So formal letter should have your introduction. Introduction means just in one sentence who you are, not by your name. This introduction will change according to the situation given in the question. If the situation is such that you have to write to an agency, maybe agency from where you've hired a house, so then your introduction is that you are the tenant at a particular place. If you are writing to a bank, your introduction will be different. If you write for a job, your introduction will be different. So I am one sentence. We are going to practice this today. And why are you writing this letter? There has to be a reason for writing that letter. Otherwise, why will that person read your letter? So one mistake which many students make is in their introduction, they write their name. That I am so-and-so, so-and-so. Why should I read your letter if you're just by your name? I need to know who you are. What is the purpose of sending that letter to me? And then only I'm going to read it. So just remember this basic thing. In between, you're going to have these 3 paragraphs. There are 3 bullet points that come to us in the question. So how do you get the IELTS letter writing question? The IELTS letter writing question gives you a situation, and then you are asked to include 3 things in that letter. So those are those 3 bullet points. You should have a separate paragraph for each point. So these 3 paragraphs are needed. In a formal letter, we can write this kind of language. I look forward to. Now, many students make a mistake over here, and instead of writing, I look forward to, grammatically how things can go against you. They write, I look forward for. So it's never I look forward for. It's always I look forward to. Now, I should not write I look forward to hear from you. This is again wrong. If after this, you have to write a verb form, that should be the ing form of the verb, ing form. So I look forward to hearing from you soon, this way, if it has to be the verb form. And then another mistake that many students make, because of which the grammatical accuracy gets affected, is this. I've seen many students putting an apostrophe over here. That's not needed. So yours. And then some make a mistake of making this F also capital. Some make a mistake of writing thanks and regards at the end. Oh, that's absolutely wrong. That's not the correct way of putting it. So yours, faithfully, whenever you have this at the end, the first word starts with a capital letter and the second word starts with a small letter. Another thing to remember in a formal letter is write your full name. That's the first name and the surname. Write your full name, not just the first name. It's a formal letter. So few things to remember, but our task achievement. For task achievement, these 3 things are necessary. So how do we take care of them? Let's look at this question. What is the situation? You've seen an advertisement in an English newspaper for a part-time job in a city restaurant during the holidays. You decide to apply for it. So the situation is you are a student. You're going to have holidays and you are looking for a part-time job and you read this advertisement. In response to that, you write a letter. This is the situation. So we cannot change the situation. I cannot say I work at so-and-so place. I cannot say that. I am a student. Now write a letter to the manager of the restaurant. So to whom are we writing? Where are we going to apply for this job? A restaurant. Now 3 things have been given to us. These 3 bullet points. First is introduce yourself. Second, explain what experience and special skills you have. Third, explain why you are interested in the job. Okay, we get 20 minutes. Now, how should we plan? Out of those 20 minutes, take around 4 minutes initially to note down points for each. Introduce yourself. You are a student. Where are you studying? Imagine, you can imagine any university, any college, name of any college, any university. Think of that. What are you pursuing? Even if you work somewhere now, you've got 10 years of experience, that doesn't matter. Here, you have to put yourself in this situation. So think that you are maybe the 2nd year student or a 3rd year student, whatever it may be. Imagine that situation. So that is going to be your introduction. Now, so note down those points. Explain what experience and special skills you have. So you are applying for a job where? In the city restaurant. So what experience can you mention over here? Maybe the experience of doing some part-time jobs somewhere else also. That's the experience you can mention. Special skills, well, one can be of computer. You know how to work in Excel, or maybe you know how to interact with people. You are good at your people skills. So those are the special skills that you can mention. If you want to go for serving or maybe the chef and all, if you have that skill, you can mention that, because this is a restaurant. We have to imagine things accordingly. Now explain why you are interested in the job. Why would a student be interested in a job? Obviously, you require additional money. A little more money will definitely help. All college students look forward to it, and then you'll gain some experience. And if you are studying somewhere abroad in an English-speaking country and you take up some jobs, that will help you to improve your communication skills. Note down these points. So take around 4 minutes to answer each bullet point separately. Right? So when you start writing, you should have 3 different paragraphs. Let's look at this. Introduce yourself. What all can come in this? Why I hail from India. Maybe you study in a different country. So this has to be there. And I have been in London for almost 2 years. You are introducing yourself. Presently, I am pursuing my bachelor's in commerce here. This is also your introduction. The person will come to know who you are. This is my 2nd year and I take up part-time jobs whenever I have my vacations. This is also your introduction. So the person feels, well, here we have somebody really keen to take up this job, interested in this job, not just to while away one's time, but one is really interested in the job. And one comes to know that, yes, you are not from that particular country, you're from outside, you are a student over there. So this is your introduction. It's not the name that becomes the introduction. Now explain what experience and special skills you have. So what can we think of? Something of this kind. I have a varied experience of part-time work. That means different types of things you've done. And my last job was at the City Museum, where I used to handle multiple responsibilities. So multiple responsibilities. So that shows that, oh yes, you can handle different areas. You are quite adaptive. I can maintain data on the computer, and if needed, I can also interact with the customers and cater to their needs. See, now you are mentioning, so if you require me for this, I can take up this role also. If you require me for this, I can take up this role also. So what experience and special skills you have, you mention. And as we say, if you apply for a job somewhere practical, what do you do then? You write something so that the other person develops interest in hiring you. So you have to write those things. So this shows your spatial skills. So IELTS is very simple. 3 bullet points. You need to answer each separately in a different paragraph. Let's move on to the next one. Explain why you're interested in the job. So what could be the reason? As I shared with you earlier, could be because of money. So presently, I'm looking forward to another part-time job. Why? As I have my holidays for a month from next week. So you're interested because you have been doing part-time jobs earlier also. I'm keen to work in your restaurant because this is where you're applying. So I'm keen to work in your restaurant as it will not only enhance my interpersonal and communication skills, but also provide me monetary support. So you mentioned why you're interested in working there. One reason is you live in a country, you study in a country where the language is English. It's a different country. You'll get an opportunity to interact with different people. Your interpersonal skills will improve. That will help you in future. And of course, the financial support will be there. So 3 bullet points answered separately. Now, at times we say that the difference between a high band score and a low band score letter is mainly over here. You should mention points with pertaining to each bullet point separately. Do not mix them up and let them come in this order only, the order in which you get those bullets. So there's clarity in your letter. Then there's coherence, cohesion. So one is the task achievement. Second, you also get points for your coherence and cohesion. And of course, lexical resource, vocabulary has to be formal. Like you cannot use that contracted form. You should not put this. This is not for formal. This is informal. So we should not use contracted forms in formal writing. So we should not have this. Take care of spellings, take care of grammar, the tenses especially. So let's see how the complete letter is going to look like. How will it be? This is the way it's going to be. So this is the question. These are the 3 things. Here is the introduce yourself. Here we have this. Explain what experience and special skills you have. This is the paragraph for that. Explain why you are interested in the job. This is the paragraph for that. Salutation. First paragraph should have reasons for writing. Okay, another thing. All questions will not give you this bullet that introduce yourself. Here you've got this bullet point. So you have it separately, but please get into the habit of putting your name in the first, introducing yourself in the first paragraph, who you are. So here it is, I'm a student at London University and I'm writing. So this shows why you're writing. I'm writing this letter in response to your advertisement in today's newspaper for a part-time job for all restaurant. So this much goes in all formal letters. Please remember as thumb rule, all formal letters should have this in one sentence or maybe as a part of the sentence in which you write reasons for writing that letter. But then if you get a bullet point like this, introduce yourself, have a separate paragraph in this way. So we need to take care of a few things while writing letters. So a letter should not be in just one paragraph, should have a proper salutation, signing off should be correct. Now here, yours faithfully, Aman Singh. So full name, and then yours faithfully over here. Now, one more thing. If you are planning to take pen and paper test, please ensure that you improve your handwriting. It should be legible. The other person should be able to read what you write. Or it's better that you write with a pencil because you can erase your answer easily. But if you use a pen, then it might be difficult and it will not be all that legible. And if you type, of course, there's no spell check over there, but yes, you can check the spellings, check the tenses, etc. at the end. So initially take around 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes to plan your letter. After that, take 2 to 3 minutes to revise everything. Review is essential. We all are human beings. The moment we start reviewing, we notice, okay, this is the mistake I shouldn't have made. So take care of that. How are you assessed in IELTS writing? So task achievement, 25%. If you include all the points properly, separately in different paragraphs, you get points here, you get points here, 25% for each. Lexical resource, vocabulary, but vocabulary should be used correctly. Correct vocabulary should be there. Grammatical range and accuracy, so 25% over here. So you get a 9 band score only when all these are fulfilled. So you have to take care of everything. That's why I would suggest that if you are planning to take your IELTS exam in the near future, you may, okay, there are some students who feel that they can practice on their own. Okay, go ahead, practice on your own. But for your writing, do look for somebody, get your writing task evaluated. Can be anyone whom you know, or you can always come to us also, but get your writing task evaluated so that you come to know which is that area where you need to improve. That's why you should get it evaluated. Otherwise, in general, you'll not come to know. It's not just grammar which matters, it's the other areas also. And we have our batches. Today also, there's a batch starting, new batch starting 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. And again, on 30th December, we are going to have 2 batches. One will be from 7:30 p.m. to 9, another from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. If you're planning to take your IELTS exam in the near future, you can always think of joining any of them.
For live online IELTS classes by expert instructors, log on to yunolearning.com.